Okay, hi everyone. Welcome to the second episode of SG FanTalk. We're here to review what happened in game week 2 for the Premier League. And tonight I'm blessed to have my two good pals with me. We have Jeremy, otherwise known as Squawk, and Jerome over here.
Hi.
So they would be giving their insights on what happened over the weekend and also share some other life advices and also to catch up probably on what they have done over the weekend as well. Maybe we'll start with, Jeremy, how was your weekend?
Well, it was a special weekend. It was my birthday.
Oh,
Yeah.
happy belated birthday.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Anyway, we spent it together. I did a lot of golfing. If not for my injury, I may be playing football more. But I'm unfortunate that I need to go for an operation for my knee.
And you were due to head into the operating theatre?
Yeah, so I'm going in the day after F1 because I'm going to bring my son for F1, so I can't be going there in crutches, right?
Okay.
So yeah, that's about the weekend. Just golfing, spending time with family, and eating a lot.
So obviously you had so much fun that you also forgot to set your FPL team, am I right? Like,
Yes.
So much golfing and traveling, eating, having good food. Okay.
But that being said, right, even though I didn't set, or maybe I set my captain wrongly, I didn't fall too far away from you.
Yeah. You did quite good. Just slightly below the average. I also didn't fare too well, but yeah. Okay, what about you, Jerome? Jerome, of course, debuting, but he's been a mainstay, I would say. Like when this first started, you were one of the pioneers, I would say, of SG FanTalk. But I know you have been playing a fair bit still of amateur football. You play probably a midweek game and a Sunday game as well, right, Jerome?
Yes, that's right.
He's probably the one that plays the highest level among all of us now.
What about you? What about background? Where is the background from?
My background from football?
Yeah.
Well, I started football when I was at a young age. I think when I was like 16. My first foray to football was like in secondary school, actually. Yeah, but from there, you start playing in the neighborhoods and the void decks and the HDB and stuff like that, right? Then you start to meet new friends and then start to form little cliques, little teams, and then you start to play against boys from the other neighborhoods and stuff like that. Then from there, decided to play something more competitive.
Yep.
Yeah, so try out for some athletic teams. That time we have a few like athletic teams like near my place. I think the nearest was Marine Castle Harbor Stadium. I went for the trials but didn't get selected. Wasn't good enough lah. Yeah. So again,
You are a captain for uni.
yeah, I'm surprised. I'm also surprised why Marco selected me for the captaincy lah. So
And coincidentally, I met you actually first during one of the Christians league, right? The Harvester team.
yes, the Agape Cup.
Yes, the Agape Cup. I think back in the day, I didn't know who this guy was. I remember I myself was pretty young back then. I think I was 19. He was a rising striker. He was the team's top scorer. I mean, us knowing what Jerome plays or which position he plays, it's amazing to know that he actually started out as a front man, scoring lots of goals for his
Like
team.
Roy Keane playing striker.
Exactly. Not exactly. I wouldn't say he's a Roy Keane.
Lee Catamol.
No, I started out as a striker. That was my favorite position at that point in time.
Wow.
I actually practiced and trained as a striker.
Okay.
So I was like lucky, I guess, like that. Kanu at the time was the manager. Like, I don't know whether you
Yeah.
him, right?
Yeah.
For Harvester.
Yeah.
So I told him, hey Kanu, I want to play as a striker. Okay, go ahead. Then for every game he put me, and then I start practicing, gain experience, start scoring goals. Quite lucky to have a team that actually help lah. You need the team support. You see. People who supply you the passes and stuff to score goals because you can't.
You're not the
you can't do it.
magician. You don't do it on your own.
I tried, but there's so much you can do. You see.
But I know he was very fast. He was at least blessed with pace. So at the time, having pace as a front man was also important.
Pace is definitely an advantage in football.
Yeah.
I mean, all us know like when we're young, right? Once we have pace,
come back
right?
fast as well.
Yeah. I mean, that's quite a major surgery, right? Double tear for you, right?
Yeah, tore my ACL and my meniscus.
And that's also why you switched to golf, right?
It's the only other thing that I can do now. So anyway, you also came back from injury.
I did tear my ACL back in the day. I think it was 10 years ago, like 2014. Also in a league game, ESP Zen, I think we were also all playing on that same day. And I think it was against Ting's team.
Really?
Yes, I remember quite clearly. But in any case, okay, so we have Jerome here today and Jeremy Kwok. We would like to give our insights on what transpired over the weekend. I think there were quite a number of fixtures. Basically, all teams played over 2 game days, Saturday and Sunday. I think maybe the surprise results. Okay, maybe we'll just go down the list. We'll start with the Saturday games. I have 2 United fans with me. Obviously, they weren't happy with the United.
Expected. It was expected.
Was expected?
Yeah, for me.
Okay, but I think Jerome also probably felt that they were naive in some of their decision making, right? Players on the pitch. What was the takeaway for the Brighton game and how United played?
Well, I watched the game actually. I mean, we were watching the game, right? So, I realized, like what you say, United was definitely naive in the terms of defending. When moments, right, when Brighton was trying to attack, right, the whole United team wasn't prepared. Or when we play football, all we are talking about nowadays is compactness.
Shape.
Shape, compactness. Think about the Chelsea, Jose Mourinho's Chelsea. How do they play? His philosophy of football is always stay compact. So you always do a low block, 4 defenders, 4 midfielders, and then even the 2 strikers will be at the create the compactness. Don't allow the opponents to come through the middle. But from the game that day, United wasn't doing that. They were still trying, or it seems like the information wasn't passed across.
So just before the goal, the winning goal that they scored, the 4 players were trying to press the keeper, and then after that, just one long ball, and then it led to the goal after that, just shortly after. So it's like dying minutes already. Why are you still chasing?
Exactly.
When you...
So in terms of, you guys are basically saying that they were not tactically sound, or rather experienced, I would say, to know that, the game, we can't really win this game. Let's not go for it and risk having a L, right? So a draw in that sense would, but to me, I think that United should be a team that goes all out to win. And I think having them maybe not tactically sound might produce more attacking results. I mean, obviously in hindsight, we know that they conceded that goal, but of course it could have been the other way around and they could have gone on and scored the winner lah. So, I mean, hearing your thoughts on that tactical aspect, which was somewhat lacking. So you think that you would prefer your team to actually be more tactically sound and maybe give up on that attacking prowess, you would say?
I mean, you have to depend who you're playing against. If you're playing against like a team like Brighton, you know that they're going to come in fast, they're going to come in aggressive, they're going to put in the numbers. So you know that as a United team, you have a lot of young players. What should you do?
Especially the Brighton subs. They brought in all the impact subs.
Exactly.
Right.
Did João Pedro start the game?
No, he came in as a sub. Actually.
Yeah,
So he was the
came in as a
impact sub that came on and scored the right? Yeah. Okay.
So, but the only person that I think we should blame is actually the management side. Somebody should control the players.
Okay.
Yeah. If the player doesn't want to listen to you, you have to get the player that listen to you and play to your game style.
Okay, so actually having mentioned something like that, actually it's interesting because we also have, I mean, on field as a captain, right? So do you think that the captain should also, take some ownership in that regard? And like telling the team, hey, we already, we might risk, losing the game. We then, be more tactically sound in that aspect.
I didn't notice. After Bruno came up, who was the captain? Yeah, I didn't.
Was it Maguire, or I think it should be Maguire.
Maguire.
I didn't notice the thing.
I think Bruno came off for was it Amma? No.
Yeah, but he came off He came off together with
Okay. Then who should have been the one, if not for the on-field captain, then how would the coach have counted on someone to, pass on that message? If let's say the on-field captain was,
Yeah, then the manager must be screaming there to tell him to get back in the shape.
Obviously, in a stadium full of fans, you're probably not going to get that as compared to. So maybe you think that there's a
lack of communication between management and players.
Okay.
I mean, we're not there and we've never played at that level, so it's very difficult for us to comment.
So at the end of the day, 2-1, still a fair result. I mean, you said that it was a tough game, tough away game.
Yeah.
Obviously, I think Mana having already put his money where his mouth at by saying that United will win the league this year in our first episode.
Okay, the teams afforded one loss.
Okay. What about the other games? I think the other standout one. Okay, obviously the Man City and Ipswich game.
We called the AOS.
I don't think anybody got that one wrong. 4-1 to City. I think they were up 3-1 after like 25 minutes. I even heard people saying like, oh, sometimes you just needed a wake up call, and Ipswich scored that goal. I think they scored like the equalizer almost immediately.
John was saying during dinner that sometimes they just let in some goals to give themselves a challenge.
So you're the one there, yeah. So in hindsight now, you think that's applicable for a top side against a not so top side to actually, let's just take our foot off the pedal and see what happens.
No, I mean, I don't think it was a joke actually, but I don't think actually they will actually think that way. But sometimes as you play, you notice some games, right? The gulf of difference that, especially in friendly games, like you watch all the friendly games they play, the manager sometimes might say, "Hey, let them score a few goals, create the urgency to score goals, to equalize, and then to score goals."
I don't think the manager would tell the players specifically that.
He might tell one or two players,
But I'm sure
take it easily.
But I'm sure the players as a whole, collective, before going to the game, they already know that okay, this is the game that we should have in the bag. And for them to know that they are one goal down, I think that also would.
I mean, we have played such games also. We go there, this one 包家one.
But after that, suddenly like, let's get our A game back. So I think maybe that did happen for Man City to go like 3-1 up after like 25 minutes, and I think they took their foot off the pedal totally in the second half. I'm sure most Haaland FPL managers would have wanted him to score that fourth goal, but I think that was a great haul in any case, a hat-trick for him. Other than that, other games like I think Spurs and Everton again on the wrong end of the 4-0. They started with a 3-0 loss to Brighton, and now Spurs 4-0. What are your thoughts? Yeah, I mean, we were mentioning relegation candidates last week, and I think Everton now also, I think they have some issues, but of course the fixture run might not be in their favor, but it's still the Premier League after all, right? Every game you have to go out there and you have to fight. Would you also think that Everton is a candidate to go down this season?
Looking at how they are playing so far, the first two games, it looks like they're going to go down. They got to find a way to
get out this rut,
definitely. But I don't know whether the financial fair play has anything to do about this or not, because they haven't been signing any players. I remember seeing
they need to sell, and they're going to sell.
So they actually sold off Onana, right? They one of the core
their centre mid,
yeah. So if you remove your core players, I mean people playing in the spine of your team, right? It's going to affect the game. So you can see they're actually very exposed. When they have been selling their top players, Iwobi went to Fulham, and then who have they brought in? No one.
Yeah, I think they were docked like what 10 points in total last season.
Right. But I think they're struggling with this.
I think Everton is always a team that still manages results. I would say over the years, right?
You're like a cockroach.
It's like one day, exactly. So I mean, maybe too early to say also, but of course this form is definitely relegation, form. Okay, and so for the last Saturday game, which I think was at least for me, my highlight game, it was the Arsenal-Aston Villa game. I thought, last week I said that I'll be happy to take a draw. I mean, having lost to Villa twice last season, I was very, very happy. Of course, the first half was quite close. I think Watkins missed a sitter, and then early second half, Raya did a double save. I think was it a double save? I think he knocked it onto the crossbar and came back and made a fantastic save off the rebound. So 2-0 to Arsenal over Aston Villa. The game, I think Arsenal definitely exceeded expectations there. But what are your thoughts on that game though?
I like the way Arsenal played. I think they really cut through Villa defense with the speed of Martinelli on one side, although there's no
final product?
end product. Yeah, correct. Still find it a bit strange not to see a out and out striker.
Okay.
For this kind of games lah.
Yeah.
Being a striker, I dropping deep.
Yeah.
Although it's something that I do as well.
Yeah.
But it's just strange. Like football has changed,
Evolved
quite a fair bit from our time when we were watching the greats.
Yeah.
Play
That, like the Alan Shearer.
yeah,
who
number
is
9,
hugging
like
the
Les Ferdinand.
last
yeah.
line. of
So
defense, yeah.
these strikers are almost obsolete. I think you only have like Chris Wood,
Okay.
who is somewhat the or Weghorst that is somewhat of the old 90s kind of striker,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. I think I would certainly agree. I have to say that about the Liverpool team, but I just want to hear your insight as well about the Aston Villa and Arsenal game.
I think very good result for Arteta lah. I think finally they got a decent win against Villa. But I actually was very impressed at how Villa played. Like what you say, Watkins missed a sitter in the first half. If he managed to score that one, I think it would be a totally different game. Again, the Villa keeper was very outstanding.
As usual, Martinez.
Martinez outstanding in the first half. He also did also unbelievable save against Saka, if I don't remember wrongly.
I think there was a very interesting stat about Martinez. It's like he was like maybe 12 years at Arsenal or something.
Yes.
A good period of time, and he never really featured, but yet he's a World Cup winner now. I mean, it just goes to show that sometimes, maybe in the goalkeeper department, that you need not be playing so regularly to actually achieve that potential. So I mean, the fact that you brought that up, I just thought that it would be a good, interesting thing to share. But I know you also were a fan of their new midfielder, Rogers.
Yes, Morgan Rogers.
Yep.
Very, very impressed with this player. I think he's like
Ball carrier. Right?
Yeah, ball carrier. 22 years old, bossing the midfield. Partey and Declan Rice has no way to stop him. Or just pushing the ball through the center of the field, going attacking, creating the chances and stuff. So seems like a very impressive player. Strong, young, fast. Give me the Jude Bellingham vibe.
Wow.
Very similar.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very good deal of business done there by Villa, right? Bringing him for so cheap.
From Man City. I think he's going from Man City. I mean, as usual, you can get a lot of very good young players from Man City nowadays.
Yeah. Q Palmer, the old Palmer. Yeah. Okay, so I guess that wraps up the Saturday review of games. Maybe we just want to talk about, Kwok alluded to previously, or rather, he said he's going for his op somewhere in 3rd week of September. What are your thoughts? Basically, I mean, amateur, we can see professionals, they're being well taken care of. If they have a major injury, they're going to be coming back in probably less than a year. But, for amateurs, I don't think the journey will be that easy. So maybe we just share, like, what are your thoughts on the recovery phase, or what you have heard from your friends who have, been in a similar position as you?
Well, I mean, now with the information that we are able to get online, as well as we are blessed with friends in this area.
As in, blessed that they are injured. Take a look for the team.
Okay, we know people that are injured have come back, and we know people in the physio or the therapy side that we can now lean on. It's no longer back in the day where you just go TCM and just hope that it heals lah. Yeah. So I'm not sure. I'm supposed to do like prehab, and then after that there's post rehab after the op.
But most importantly, you have your insurance coverages.
Yes, that definitely.
Yeah.
So
I think that's also one good thing to highlight, because previously when I did my op, I wasn't. I mean, I had the cover, but I didn't know how good the cover was and how important it was to have it at the time. So I mean, maybe this is the one takeaway, that I could remember. Because I think the bill came up to like 40,000. I went to, actually, I didn't even know I could go to the private hospital. It was only after getting frustrated at Tan Tock Seng, then I called up my insurance agent, and then I realized, hey, actually, I'm eligible to head to a private hospital. So I just took a taxi next door to Mount Novena and immediately got all the scans and surgery scheduled.
Then after that, you did your therapy, your post rehab.
Yeah. So I think it's the same kind of program. Like, you probably start 3 months after, or maybe even earlier, depending on how the recovery of the wound or how big. Because I did quite a big tear. Actually, not. I tore the ACL, but I chose to do the patella surgery, which is actually an incision along the whole kneecap. So that was a bigger incision than required. I mean, there's the keyhole one that people could also opt for. So I guess that took a little more recovery time, but the plus was that it's supposed to be stronger because I took a bigger ligament, to actually...
Your own.
Yeah, my own. So recovery phase will be longer for me at least, and then yeah.
But when you went for rehab, was it a football-centric kind of rehab or just a general get you back to fitness kind?
I guess most of these physios, they themselves are very experienced. They see all sorts of athletes or sports person that come in for whichever surgery that they're coming for. So you can tell them that you are a former player or you are wanting to head back into that sport, and they would know what kind of exercise to maybe accelerate that part, like to strengthen the right kind of muscle so that you're able to get back into the sport that you desire. So I think most of the physios would already know if you tell them, what you want to get back to. Because I think at the end of the day, we do surgery because we want to go back and play. But there are also people probably like yourself, Jerome. I think you skipped the need for the surgery, or you felt that it wasn't required. You kind of had a tear, I believe, and then you just opted for self-healing mechanism like the Wolverine, or would you like to share how you overcame that phase?
I think I'm quite lucky in a way. No, nothing serious. No ACL tear. Maybe ACL strain. That kind of thing. Yeah, I've been visiting the specialist a few times. Actually, I always get injured. Then I always get this. I will worry that I tear my ACL. I'll go and see a doctor. Then they will do the MRI and realize, it's actually a strain.
Yeah.
So actually, all you need to do is just strengthening of your knees. And the last serious injury I had last year, actually, I tore my plantar, the muscle directly at the bottom of the feet.
Yeah,
complete tear. When I was sprinting for a ball, I heard a pop sound.
Okay.
Then immediately I couldn't walk anymore.
And you know it, right?
Yes.
Same for my knees. Like,
exactly.
I know that
I couldn't do anything really, and I was very, very worried. When I see doctor said, plantar tear, complete tear. You can do all, but not necessary. Do strengthening. So I did my own strengthening, like strengthen my ankle, strengthen my calves, do exercise. So, but I mean, as you know, football is a very demanding game. One of the most demanding sports ever compared to any other sports. You need to run, you need to be strong, you need to be agile, and at our age, if you want to enjoy football, we need to train. We need to do anything outside of football. Then only we can play football.
Enjoy it,
exactly.
If not, you can't enjoy it. Yeah, your mind is there, but your body
you will injure yourself. Definitely. You will try to do your sprints, you try to kick the ball, but somehow or rather, if your ankle is weak, you're gonna twist your ankle, you're gonna sprain your ankle. Then you have to stop football for the next 3 to 4 weeks.
Yeah. So I was saying about the therapy, right? Like now, that's why we are blessed. I know some people. Shout out to Shoban. No last game. Yeah. So he has very football-centric kind of exercises to make sure that you get back to playing, and there's no such thing as your last game, which I think is very meaningful. And a few of our friends actually went through that.
Yeah.
And I can see that it has made a difference. No longer just get you walking properly, running. Yeah, it's a lot. It's more football-centric.
Totally agree. You nowadays, at our age, when we're younger, we don't really care because we recover fast and we were fit, we were strong, and when we were in our 20s and stuff like that. But once you hit your 40s, right, your muscles weaken and everything. Then you need to do all you can to strengthen your muscles to enjoy football.
Right.
Otherwise, you step on the pitch, you do a few sprints, you kick the ball a few times, you'll definitely get injured.
Which is amazing when you see like professional athletes. I think one of the more notable players would be Hazard at Madrid. When he joined Madrid, he was blighted with a series of injuries. So if all the professional care that he had at Madrid, he couldn't,
Get back,
recover,
right?
and then he unfortunately had to retire.
I think it's also the mental side of the game, lah. Yeah. Did you like experience you were scared to go in the tackle? I mean, the way I play, I'll go in quite hard, lah.
I guess the takeaway that I remember was the physio himself telling me that, once I did the necessary rehab by going through all the physio classes, it's like getting a new ligament so that you can actually go back to your sport. So it's like the fact that he told me that, it gave me the confidence to just treat it as nothing. I shouldn't hold back. I should just behave like how my leg wasn't injured at all after the surgery, of course. So I think that that in itself was assuring enough for the recovery phase.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, I hope to be back next year.
I mean, we are looking forward to you,
Yeah,
calling us back to play the Wednesday or the Monday night football again.
I was really, it's something that I miss a lot.
Of course,
Yeah,
of course.
so
of
golf
course.
has
Replace
the
that
outlet.
void.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the outlet. Yeah.
That void for now. Okay, I mean, it's an interesting topic there to talk about injuries. I think the Premier League themselves also, there are some players coming back. I think Foden himself was actually rested, or is he coming back from injury?
I think rested after World Cup. I know for me,
After the Euros,
so
yeah.
Solanke is out, so I had to take him out.
Yeah.
I got a feeling Foden got replaced by the new, what's the new guy's name? Savinho.
Savinho.
Very impressive. Typical winger.
Really?
Bring the ball down. That's why he won the first penalty, right? For Haaland, yeah. Brought the ball all the way into the box with his pace and trickery.
I mean, Foden, for what he's worth, he is the Premier League Player of the Year last year.
Yes.
I think he had a decent Euros. He started all the England games, I think. So I think, are you sure it's a decision by Pep to drop him because of the level that he's maybe not up to it? Maybe, him maybe having an extended break.
Sometimes it's psychological or mental. You need to let the player know that, hey, I don't have to depend on you. I still have other players who can do
You
the
still
job.
must perform.
Yes. Don't think that you will be the next superstar. I have players that can do your job. And then, good enough, he got this guy, Savinho. Very impressive.
Keeps everyone
So-
on their
Exactly. If you want to be a championship team, you need to have
That
all-
competition, right?
Yes, the competition. You look at the game when they against Ipswich, right? They concede a goal, but you can see the look in their face, right? They know that they're gonna score the next goal. They're gonna score a lot of goals, even though they concede the goal. They will just pick up the ball and carry on. It's a different mentality. Man City has one of the strongest.
The champions mentality.
Exactly, more stronger. Similar to Liverpool. Arsenal, I don't see that yet. They need to work on that if they want to be champions. When United, unfortunately,
way to stay.
they don't have that. Yeah. So you need to work on the mental side of things as well.
But it's interesting because technically to have that mentality, it means that you have to win something, right? You have to be a champion. So what should you do if you haven't won anything to have that mentality?
I believe if you are a contender, it's easier to build the mental. But if you're a champion, you need to defend the championship. But that's the difficult part.
So that's the part where they level up, lah. When you win multiple,
immediately
How do you
drive.
how do you carry on to build the drive for the players? You see, like Pep is fantastic. I think he got a team behind him, right? Some a team of
It just seems like the moment they identify that this guy's drive is not there,
yes,
he's sold already.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, we're not there, but it sure seems like it, lah.
Yeah.
That's how
That's why every season you look at the players, they're so motivated.
Yeah.
There must be something that he's doing right, lah. I mean, or somebody behind him, the backroom staff, right, is doing the right thing,
I mean, having mentioned that, what are your thoughts then on Grealish not really getting minutes? He was, the star by last 2 seasons back. And last season also was a bit of an in and out of the team. He didn't really start all the games. And true enough, Doku has really started both for Man City's game. He came on again in the second half. What do you think of Grealish impact, to Man City so far?
I think he went from being the main guy to being a cast, just a sub-cast, So maybe he's still adjusting. Maybe don't.
So he needs to be like the big fish in the small pond kind of a...
Yeah, I hope not. I like him personally.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a good player.
Okay, moving on to the Sunday games. I think we had 3 fixtures. Bournemouth, Newcastle, Wolves, Chelsea, Liverpool, Brentford. And I think the surprise for most of us would be the Chelsea game in which they scored 6 goals. Madueke, I think, had a hat-trick. Palmer an assist, a goal and assist. João Felix also managed to get on the board after his move from Atletico, I think. And I think 6-2 clearly. I mean, if you would just look at the score, you would think that Chelsea, played Wolves out of the park. But I think they were a bit fortunate.
Yeah,
sense.
Wolves came back twice.
Sorry, forgot to add. And Kuku had how many touches on the ball for coming on? But anyway, yeah, you were saying?
Yeah, I think Wolves came back twice.
Yeah.
To level the score lah.
1-1 and then 2-2.
Yeah,
right?
1-1 2-2. So I think the score kind of flattered Chelsea.
Yeah.
I was looking at the goals. Something wrong with the defense lah. They just let the Madueke just
Stroller.
yeah, it's just free.
When Madueke scored, it was 3-2, right?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
yeah.
So when I realized when I watched the highlights, I watched the replay, I didn't watch the game. I watched a bit of the game actually, but the first goal he scored, Nori was there, the left back.
Yeah.
He blocked the shot, but
Yeah.
unfortunately it went to the net. That was unlucky. He tried his best to block the shot, it went.
But
But that's when Wolves start to be more attacking. They committed players off. So for next two goals, right, when Madueke scored, right, Nori wasn't in the left back
Yeah.
position. He was right in the front.
There was no one there.
It was a counter attack, and
Yeah.
Madueke happened to be there. He was lucky that the left back wasn't there. The center back had to handle him. So, I mean, he was lucky that day to score. Actually, I feel that way. If the first shot the first goal it didn't manage to go in, right, then probably it would be
The outcome.
yeah, a totally different outcome.
okay.
But that's the EPL for you, lah. Huh? Oh,
So I think you actually watched the Bournemouth Newcastle game, right?
yes. I have like 3 Newcastle players.
Oh,
Yeah, this
watching for the right reasons. I see. Okay.
very disappointing.
Yeah.
Very disappointing.
I think
yeah.
I also actually, instead of watching the Wolves Chelsea game, I actually opted to watch the Bournemouth Newcastle game as well. I think they were unlucky, Newcastle, but I think Bournemouth also played really well to actually. They actually could have won the game, but I think they had a goal. Was it a goal ruled out? Was it disallowed?
Yeah, I think they had to go well. Like
Yeah.
Semenyo, right?
Yeah.
Semenyo.
I think Samuel was also fantastic. I think now he's the go-to person. Having lost their marquee striker, what's his name again?
Solanke.
Yeah, sorry, Solanke to Spurs. So I think Semenyo, hit the crossbar once. He was a threat throughout the game, and I think a decent player for sure. I mean, he was also performing not rather well. I mean, his numbers also were quite decent last season. I remember he was one of the differential picks in FPL, Semenyo. When I think Bournemouth had a very good run of games, one of the blank game weeks, I think he was one of the picks for some of the FPL managers. So I think Newcastle again. What do you think is causing them to have such a slow start to this season? Where do you think the fault lies?
They had a very good preseason, Newcastle.
Which is you were so confident with that Murphy pick,
exactly.
right?
Yeah, they were like scoring goals with no reason. Nobody could stop them. Murphy has got like 5 goals and like 4 assists or something like that. Jacob Murphy.
Who are they playing in the S League?
No, I mean they play against decent opposition, but I mean with the kind of form, right, you would think that you assume that they will do well, lah.
Yeah.
But I mean, Bournemouth was definitely impressive, lah. They were prepared. I thought they will definitely collapse after Solanke left and they don't have a target man. But they brought in a Brazilian striker, Elverson or something.
the Brazilian
number
striker,
9, right? Yeah, seems
He had a few pot shots
Yes,
at goal also,
correct.
yeah.
very, very, very sharp player, good on the ball, posted up the ball well, and then of course you have the Semenyo, with all his dribbling and shots on the target as well. So very impressive about Bournemouth this season. Newcastle, Anthony Gordon, I think didn't have the best of games. I think he missed an open goal as well. Isak had actually a very, very, very good cross in the first half. Open goal, Anthony Gordon missed the shot, missed the goal. Actually missed the pass itself.
Really good players.
Yeah. But I still feel that holding on to this Gordon would be a good choice. He still looks sharp. He just need to
In
get
terms of
form
FPL
back.
to hold on to Gordon.
Exactly.
Talking about disallowed goals,
Yeah.
do you think that the menu goal,
Ah, okay.
do you think it should have been allowed, or Oh, okay. By rules.
By letter of the law, yes, that's a clear offside lah. Right? I mean, he was just in the wrong place, right? I mean, intentionally wise, he definitely didn't intend to.
There's no change. There's no outcome difference. There's no difference in outcome. Yeah, I feel some form of common sense should be applied in this.
In this regard lah. Like if he wasn't there, it would have been a goal, and is what you're saying lah, right? But I think with VAR and all,
but the rules are rule.
Correct. So they're just being black and white here, because if not, it would allow a lot of contentious, episodes.
What is common sense, right?
Correct. And then we will probably be watching lots of advertisements. Like I think Mana reference, how the games in US, they will actually go through this whole
take hours.
They would just come to a decision by looking at the replays. And,
don't set a precedent. Once you set a precedent, then they'll start to bring.
I mean, it's a good point. Yeah. How it would, the ball would have gone into the net. Had he not been there, and he just happened to be there, inadvertently. So a case of strainers lah. So the last game, I think, is the Liverpool. I think no real upset there. Liverpool 2-0. Brentford, do you manage to catch that game? Because you didn't have Salah, right? Yep. I would have guessed.
Yeah.
I caught that game. I was actually looking forward to the game. Liverpool is not my team, but I think I've long had
your captain, right?
Yeah. I mean, aside to that, I've long had lots of Liverpool assets. I think the last few years of playing FPL, Liverpool has one of. See, the beauty about FPL is that even though Liverpool is not my team, I've always thought that they were boring to watch. I just found myself gradually watching their games because of the FPL reasoning lah. But I think, no other matches also clash at the timing. 11:30, that was the last game for Sunday.
That's the beauty of FPL. It forces you to watch games.
It forces you to watch games.
That's correct.
So, okay, I watched, the Liverpool game, the Brentford attack was, I think, they had their ongoing issues with Tony and all. Didn't really threaten. So I think Liverpool were just unlucky to not score more. That was the takeaway for me. Salah actually had a somewhat of an off game. I don't know why, because I thought he had a good start against Ipswich. 1 goal, 1 assist last week. I thought, this was the home game that he would come into and just rattle off the goals. But there were glimpses and lots of moments where he had lots of heavy touches, like his ball control was
back to the last season and Salah.
Yeah, that's not what I was hoping for, but I saw lots of that before he actually got onto the score sheet. So I'm just not sure why, he would have such a start. It's your first home game back, at Anfield. Anfield is such a wonderful, I think, stadium to be at or playing at. What do you think, gotten to start? Like, he had a very slow, sluggish start in this game, in particular, Jerome.
It was marked out. I didn't watch it.
Yeah, I agree with you. Like, he didn't start well. Even in the Ipswich game where he scored 1 goal and the assist, right? He also didn't play very well to me lah. The first half when I watched him play, right, his touches were a bit heavy. The left back, the Ipswich left back, what was his name? That guy, very very impressive. He actually
Davies.
I think it's Davies.
Robinson is Fulham now.
Let's take a look later. But he handled Salah very well. Salah didn't have any chance in the first half lah. Might mark him well because they were playing a very high line, right? But he handled Salah. Salah couldn't go past him. Touches, like we say, heavy. Same as for the Brentford game, but Salah still has the class lah. Somehow or rather, you don't give him the chance.
That finish.
Don't give him the chance. Don't give him the opening. He will still finish it.
The finish was something. Yes. For him to perform that, I don't know how he actually got his foot to curl the ball around the keeper, because I think he was already bearing down on goal. It was like very, very close to the keeper, but yet he could still deliver that technique to wrap the ball around the keeper. That definitely is class. And I could tell that after he scored that goal, his confidence came up. His touches became a bit better. And I thought he was going to score a bit more, because I needed, obviously, him to outscore, Haaland in the FPL department. But I think that game was more about them, Liverpool, wearing Brentford down in the first half before. They had also fantastic subs that came on. I think Gakpo also had a really decent game after coming on. They even had the luxury of bringing on Nunes, who, you mentioned earlier about, teams not playing what do you call it? The striker, the out and out striker, yeah. So I think Nunes also came on, but no, Nunes, I think, didn't play well. Because I think Liverpool for that game, they had Jota, Salah, and the
Luis.
Colombian, Luis.
Yeah.
So they were playing with that formation, and I think they also were struggling to find their target man when, crosses were due. So I could see them, struggling, to find opportunities when the opponent's team is just 11 men in their own half. Because maybe, when it's so packed, it's very hard to play through the middle and stuff. So I think, going back to, the part about the out and out striker, I think Liverpool played that game rather well without one, and they managed to get away with the 3 points. I think Jota again had an assist to Luis. I think Luis got one and assist one. Yeah, he assisted the Salah goal, if I remember correctly. Yeah. So I think Liverpool for
I hope Salah brings the same
100% record.
same form next week against Man U.
Oh yeah, we have the Man U game to talk about too. That's happening in game week 3. So I think that rounds up the game week 2 fixtures. We can look forward now to game week 3. I think Kwok has already burst the bubble there. The big notable game would be the Sunday fixture at 11 o'clock, Man U versus Liverpool. Are we going to be catching the game anywhere? Do you reckon that we should be going somewhere to actually be doing this?
We could. We're crowded lah.
I mean, we'll sort that one out.
We need to find some place to watch together.
Yeah, I mean, it would be nice, right, to actually go out there, maybe interview a few, fans from opposing teams to see what they. But I mean, right here, right now, I really have 2 United fans with me. What is your hope for the game? Obviously, a United win here, right?
Yes.
Yeah, no doubt. But
Hope lah. That's the hope.
the hope lah.
Yeah.
So actually, on paper, you're not really confident
I've
on the win.
I don't have any more Man U.
I mean, definitely the standout fixture at Man U Liverpool, right? So let me see whether there are the games. Maybe Arsenal, Brighton also could be a banana skin there for Arsenal. They have the early kickoff. I think that is around.
I think that'll be a very good game actually.
That's actually around lunchtime, right? I think Pep mentioned before he hates this kickoff timing. That's why they don't have lunch before playing or what? I don't know what's the culture like lah. But we usually just play football with or without our meals in any case. But I think the standout fixture will be the United and Liverpool game. So unfortunately, we don't have our Liverpool
Contingent.
contingent here. I mean, we can and we hope to get Alvin on board. He can give his Liverpool insights. Personally, I think Liverpool is going to win this one lah. So the score, I think maybe 3-1. What do you think that's a fair assessment on paper?
1.
Yeah, to Liverpool.
1.
Yeah, United's going to score 1 now.
Okay. If they drop Rashford,
Yeah,
maybe closer game.
closer game if
Yeah.
they drop Rashford
Right.
and bringing on Garnacho.
Yes.
Is it?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay,
Rashford
closer game lah.
Rashford is like 2 games, 0 shots on goal.
No, but if I would ask you to give me a score, what score would it be?
I would say Liverpool to score more.
Okay,
Maybe 4-2,
4-2.
4-3.
4-3. Okay, 4-3. Nice.
4-3. High scoring.
High scoring Old Trafford.
Yeah, high scoring.
Get your bets out. 4-3. 4-3 at Singapore Pools probably pays 1-12, I think.
Yeah, we probably don't bet lah.
Yeah, okay. Hey, not gonna endorse it. So, what about yourself? If you're gonna pick a score,
Actually, have Slot and Ten Hag play against each other in the Dutch league before? I'm sure they had, right? They had played before for Ajax. PSV and Ajax, right?
for sure, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think this game, United will win.
Wow.
I think they will win.
Wow.
They will
And what scoreline?
I think it will be a very close scoreline as well. 2-1. 2-1 to United.
But what would you mean? What is your confidence stemming from? Having seen United drop points last week, they had an okay 1-0 win on game week 1 against Fulham. But what would be your main plus for them getting this 2-1 win?
I mean, okay, if you talk about defensive wise, right, they're not very good. I hope they improve on that against Liverpool. But attacking wise, and especially the high press, they are doing a very high press nowadays, right? Hopefully, this time around this weekend, right, they can get everything in order. They press Liverpool well.
But just now you mentioned the part about the high pressing and then led to them counter attacking and scoring. So you still want them to be playing something like that against Liverpool?
No, because at that point of time, okay, if you go back to the Brighton game, right, Brighton was putting out in numbers. And United was they were defending a lead, right?
I think it was 1-1.
1-1. I mean, they were trying to. I mean, it was a draw lah. Was 1-1. So when you play against an opponent who was so aggressive, putting in numbers, right? You should play a more attacking game. I mean, counter-attacking game.
Okay.
Soak and attack.
That means this will actually work into United's favor lah. Because
Correct.
I mean, there's no surprises that Liverpool will be.
But then
having
again,
more of
as
the ball lah.
professionals, right? They can try doing a high press, but you know it doesn't work. Go back, compact, wait for your chance. So against Liverpool, I hope they do the same thing again. Try and press. If they can press Liverpool in the early few minutes, right, and get a goal, right, then you can see in and wait out for the result.
Okay.
You get what I mean?
Okay.
So they are professional players. They should know what to do. Try. If it doesn't work, play safe, compact.
Okay.
You know.
Okay. I guess that would be, the roundup or the preview that we will be looking forward to for game week 3. In terms of FPL,
Captain speak.
maybe we'll talk about transfers first, because I think
Okay, yes.
who are you bringing in and who are you taking out? I think you are taking an 8-point hit
Yeah, I
for
brought
game
in.
week 3, right?
Yeah, I took an 8-point hit to bring in Haaland.
Wow, 8-point hit to bring in Haaland. Okay.
Yeah.
So apart from Haaland, who is the notable transfer in for your team?
I already have Obama. So
Okay.
he's the one that saved me last week.
Okay, so you're probably going with the Cole Palmer captaincy pick for you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And Chelsea would be actually playing Crystal Palace at home. Oh, I think that's a no-brainer there. If you had, Cole Palmer and maybe Haaland at West Ham. I mean, typically Man City have always done well so against West Ham. Who will you captain actually, Jerome?
Tough week for me.
Okay.
Because my heavy hitters are Salah and Haaland.
Oh, you have actually Haaland.
I have both.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
But of course Liverpool playing against United, Haaland playing against West Ham, who's doing quite decent. I mean, after the Crystal Palace game. Given if I don't make any transfer, most likely I will just captain Haaland
Okay.
at that point in time. But I'm seriously considering to bring the informed Chelsea players like Palmer. But looking at his price tag, I will need to take a few hits. At least one hit
To bring Palmer in, is it?
Palmer in, exactly.
So that's
Right now I have one Chelsea player. I thought I have one that is good enough, which is Nkunku.
and Cuckoo Bird, right?
Yeah, so one way to bring in Palmer, one way is to sell Nkunku for a lower price midfielder like maybe like Morgan Rogers with 5 million.
Yeah.
So I got like 1.5 million and play around with another player, and then I might be able to bring in Palmer.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you technically don't have Taka in your team, right?
No Saka.
Yeah, so that's why you have the funds for that. Personally for me, I think I personally think big games like the Liverpool Man U game, form book goes out of the window lah. And I think that's where your star players usually would rise to the occasion. I think traditionally Salah has performed against United lah. I think he
Quite consistent.
Yeah, he's quite consistent. I still have not decided who my captain is going to be this week, but currently it's still going to be Salah against United. For me, my transfer plans, I'll probably drop Eze for a Chelsea player. I mean, having seen Madueke score that 3 goals, I don't have the funds to get the Palmer, but it is very tempting to actually bring in Madueke because I think he's going to start.
But don't fall in the trap. A lot of people fall
Yeah.
in the trap.
Yeah. I mean, we have seen traditionally, so I think last season it was with Sterling. It was so annoying to see him not.
Look at the
basically
goals that Madueke scored, the 3 goals.
Yeah.
It's all very 3 very lucky goals. The first goal was the deflection, the last 2 goals when the left back wasn't there because they are trying to attack. So it was lucky lah, I would say.
Okay.
Any other players would have scored.
Any other place? Okay. So you're saying that I shouldn't be too trigger happy and then just jump on the Madueke bandwagon.
But it's a consideration. Because like what you say, if you don't have the funds to bring in Palmer, the next best choice would be Madueke. Or maybe who's the guy on the left for Chelsea? Is it Neto?
Neto.
Neto, right? Neto, yeah. Neto also looks very sharp.
But in terms of the returns, I don't think Neto actually, on a six for your team to score 6 goals, he actually had an assist.
Only one assist, right?
One assist. Jao Felix.
I don't think he started.
Neto started. He started both games, so actually I'm very surprised with that. So coming from Wolves to actually be starting these
It's
two
a very
games.
good track record. with
Yeah.
Wolves,
I think fantastic so far. Actually no. He came on for the City game for last 32 minutes. So actually 45 minutes played against Wolves. So I'm assuming he came on actually in the half.
He came on.
Yeah, he came on in the second half. So actually maybe not Neto, since obviously we want the starter or someone who at least fulfills that 90 minutes.
Palmer seems like an assist machine.
Yeah, but the thing is about the funds, right? I will have to drop someone else to get to Palmer. But yeah, I think Chelsea has a good run of games. If you take a look at their fixture run, it's basically green for the next 5 games until they meet Liverpool in game week 8. And don't forget, we have an international week coming up. That will be after game week 3. So don't be too quick on your transfers. Obviously, we wouldn't want to get ahead of it and transfer in a player only to have them injured during the international week. The game week 4, I believe, will resume on the 15th of September. So they have a 2-week hiatus from the Premier League. So again, going back to which FPL targets, I think Chelsea have a good run of games. Arsenal would come soon after their game with Man City in game week 4. So game week 5 onwards, I will be probably bringing in Arsenal players in. So they have basically Arsenal players are also fixture proof, right? I mean, of course, against City, maybe you wouldn't want to be so gung-ho and put in a defender and a goalkeeper. I think most people have Raya and they probably have a Gabriel or Ben White. So I think maybe apart from the City game, Arsenal players are quite fixture proof. I think Liverpool players as well, pretty fixture proof. I think Salah typically has performed against big teams, so there's no risk. I mean, do you all also consider that?
No.
Like a team being
I don't.
a player being, fixture proof, would you have picked a player like that? Or would you knowing that he has a tough game, you would transfer him out? I mean, obviously Haaland.
If it's a tough game, I would transfer him. I mean, I'm more risk averse. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And yourself, would you think that a player can last the whole FPL season? Undroppable.
Certain players are.
Like Haaland lah.
I mean, like last season, who was the player who was undroppable?
Cole Palmer, definitely.
Cole Palmer, definitely. For 5 million, you can just keep him for the whole season. Yeah, so now is to find the gem for this season. The guy who is the for the 5 million player.
I mean, that's also exciting, right? To find all these buys. I love scouting for players who are actually playing higher up, but they are listed as maybe a defender or a midfield. I think maybe 3 or 4 seasons back, we had the Sheffield Wednesday defender who was actually playing on the wings for Sheffield United, right? And he got a lot of returns. He was, I forgot what his name, but yeah, we love to spot things like that. We're just not yet sure who that player is for FPL this season. So we'll look forward to finding who the differential is. The gem, as Jerome said. So I think that would wrap up this week's episode for the preview to match day game week 3. Of course, the Liverpool Man U game is the big one to watch. Hopefully, we can actually be live. I mean, the thing with us is that we're also trying to go down to places, have a talk with people on the ground, get their thoughts as well, not just hear from us. Obviously, we know a bit more, I think, than the average person on the ground, having played the game. We have Jerome right here, who is still actually even playing right now regularly, like in your Safra. Is it Safra midweek?
Yes, playing the Safra Night League.
Yeah.
Playing against boys half my age.
So I think we might be equipped with a bit more knowledge in that sense. So I mean, obviously we're not saying we're very good or whatever, but at least having that experience helps in us giving our insights into the game. So like, share, subscribe, whatever they call it these days, and we will look forward to the next episode, right, for game week 3. Thank you, everybody.